the jeopardy of live filming, Fred. Who did you and I think we were going to wake up this morning and be filming outside the McCain stand at the British Potato event in Harrogate 2025? Did you?
I can't believe my luck. No, it's just all come together perfectly.
You're so genuine, Fred. That's what I love about you. So it's great to see you here. It seems it's a very popular event. It's nice because it's not huge.
No.
It's not small. It's very compact.
Packed.
Yeah. And it seems, I don't know what you've picked up. Everyone seems to be pretty positive about the sector, even though potato prices are low. I think everyone's just taking the view that if you're in the potato game, it's always going to be like this, and unfortunately this year it's like this. But we're all with friends, so let's all be positive about it. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a roller coaster with potatoes, isn't it? Last time I was here 2 years ago, the opposite was true. Volumes were low, prices were high, and this year, plantings went up from last year, and the free buy market's on its knees. But the quality sounds like it's been surprisingly good, despite all the dry conditions. Irrigation and water management's a big issue. Whenever it's lit, PCM continues to be a big talking point. There's a lot of positivity. Our potato special has been on the stands.
I know.
Today.
So, what I mention, the first thing you saw when you came in were, I think it was 2 or 3 big stands with the FPJ, Andy Murray.
With Andy Murray.
Which is a coup for the particular potato company question, Barclays, but coup for you.
And a coup for the whole potato sector. To have such a big name, kind of reinforcing the family values of potatoes and the health messaging is great for the industry.
Well done, because Cedric Porter, the great Cedric Porter, mentioned earlier in a session that actually to exist and to be healthy, all you need is cheese and potatoes. I was thinking of every nutritionist in the world doing that.
Not totally sure about that.
But his talk was very interesting because he was saying that the amount of imports that are coming in from likes of China and India and frozen. But then there's other people here saying, well, we grow very good quality, very good tasting potatoes, so we've got to remember that. But the other thing I just wanted to segue into, that an event like this, it's the networking, it's the meeting with people and picking up those bits of intelligence. One of the best events I went to this year was your event.
Oh, thank you.
At Worldwide Fruit. And I want to know, have you got plans for 2026?
We do, as it happens. So next year G's are going to be hosting us.
Wow. Well, that's a coup.
Yes. Very happy to be on board with them. 10th of June, if I'm not mistaken, at their main site in Barway, there will be tours of their baby leaf and true packing facilities. I hope I haven't got that wrong.
Okay.
A harvest tour. I think they're going to have their laser weeder on display, and it's going to be right next to their accommodation for their seasonal workers, and they're the biggest employer of seasonal workers in the UK, fresh produce. There'll be some interesting sessions around that.
And again, Cedric mentioned them. Oh no, it's David Hughes. Professor David Hughes mentioned them as a business, nearly $1 billion sterling turnover, operating, I think it's in 12 countries, and they're family owned. And it's great these other businesses that are all PLCs. There's something very tangible about John Shropshire, and he was fantastic at your event, Festival Fresh, at Worldwide Fruit. Because he's just sort of this beacon of light, isn't he? Not within the dark, but this beacon of light, because he's just so knowledgeable, modest, well thinking, and he has that. He's a great catalyst between growers and retailers and everyone else. So just to reiterate, to have Refresh 2026 at G's, that's a stunner.
We've been. It's a conversation that we had with them, I think 2 years ago, just kind of floating the idea, and kind of had it on our minds, and now seems like the right time to do it. And they've been really helpful so far. So we're really
and I had the pleasure of interviewing your esteemed colleague Michael Barker in America recently, and it'd be interesting to see what your take on this is, because I asked him what your publication, Fresh Produce Journal and FruitNet and Eurofruit, fantastic publications. What more can we do as a sector for you? I asked Michael. Michael said, we want more contributions, we want more collaborations, we want more stories, whether they're good, the bad or ugly. Talk to us. Would you reinforce that? Would you agree with what he says?
Absolutely, yeah. And one issue that we are going to have next year is going to be people in produce. So we're going to be interviewing some of the kind of fresh produce industry titans. We're going to have lots of comment pieces in there as well. And yeah, we want to kind of, I think it's going back to a issue that Michael put out. I think it was the big 50 people. I think, which was a one-off, but we wanted to do something similar again. And give it a real kind of personal touch.
Because there are so many personalities in the. Am I going to say this? Speaking to a few people about this, there's so many stories. Can you imagine a book with some fantastic anecdotes within the UK and overseas, especially with the fruit sector seems to be full of them, especially overseas. I think that would be a bestseller. So you can have, Fred, you can have that one for free. Write that book as well.
Well, funny you should say that, but I think we have already published something of that ilk. I think it was called Fresh Faces. It's a pink covered publication, and it's got lots of international fresh produce personalities featured within it.
So are we making a bit of a call out now, or Andy, are you going to do it with them? If you want your boss or there's someone that you think should be recognised
as one of the big personalities of UK fresh produce, get in touch.
So let's do that.
I can't remember what date it's coming out next year, but it's on our editorial programmes.
And you and your colleagues, to me, you're very much like you're a bit like a honeybee, moving from plant to plant, moving from company to company, picking up pollen, picking up information. So you have a really good understanding to the fresh sector as a whole. Here comes a big one. What are your predictions for 2026 as to how we're going to see UK fresh produce? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think the direction of travel in the industry over a number of years has been consolidation, fewer growers, higher volumes, and I think large producers managing risk by being present in lots of different parts of the country and also new geographies around the world is a trend that will continue. I think the entering into force of the Precision Breeding Act could start to play a big role in the varieties that are grown. That might not be immediate, although I'm sure work has been going on behind the scenes with that in mind. And that could be a huge advantage as growers try to tackle climate change and the higher yielding, climate resilient varieties.
Well done. And what about the invasion of the Americans? We've seen Taylor Farms recently buy out Nature's Way marketing. And my view is that they bought as much as they can in the States, and a bit like Driscoll's did with Berry Gardens very successfully. Can you see more international entities coming in and looking to snap up some of our fresh produce companies in the UK?
I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that happening.
Right.
I think big buyouts and mergers will continue to be a big feature of the industry.
So again, it's another reason why we need to subscribe to Fresh Produce Journal for your for your very informative daily email newsletter, as well as the actual physical publication.
And in that vein, our next issue is the big 50 companies. So, it will focus on that sort of thing.
I'm sure you know this. I go to so many companies and see a CEO, MD, and somewhere in their office they have photocopied your top 50, and they've got it up for 2024, 2025. It's the go-to sheet.
We've had already 2 or 3 emails saying, how big do we need to be to get in? How far off are we going to be in the list this year? So I think it is on companies' minds, which is good for us to hear.
And Fred, to wrap up, so you're optimistic, enthusiastic about 2026 in respect of everything you got coming through for the Fresh Produce Journal and the sector that you represent. Are you optimistic?
Generally optimistic, but I think the challenges have never been greater at the same time from a climate perspective, from a cost perspective, and I think there are just so many variables. It's a very unpredictable industry to be in.
A South African citrus grower said to me immediately after COVID, Max, we just said to each other, don't panic, make a plan. Make a plan. And I do find that with the better businesses I come across, they have a plan that will assist them through let's go for interesting times.
I think planning quite far ahead has become very important. likely success.
But thank you to you and your colleagues. You're the glue for the sector. Everyone really appreciates the work that you all do.
As they do.
The information that we get, you just get videos from me. We get actual information from you and the public, especially the likes of the top 50 companies coming through, is so useful for everyone. So thank you.
Cheers, Max.
Right, we'll go have some potatoes at the games.
Yeah, let's go have some chips.
Let's go.